WWE drops Chris Jericho tease ahead of Raw. SmackDown's 3-hour move might be temporary. WWE star announces exit from wrestling after health battle. Unfortunate update on LA Knight. Sad news for AJ Lee. Another WWE star may be injured. Shocking WrestleMania 42 match pitched for Cody Rhodes. Let's get started. WWE drops Chris Jericho tease ahead of Raw. Chris Jericho is officially done with AEW, and WWE may have just all but confirmed what's coming next. With his AEW contract officially expiring at the end of 2025, the rumors of Jericho heading back to WWE have exploded. And now, WWE General Manager Adam Pearce has added serious fuel to the fire ahead of the January 5th episode of Monday Night Raw, a night that also marks WWE's one-year anniversary streaming on Netflix. While promoting the stacked card, Pearce dropped a line that immediately set off alarm bells for longtime fans. Who will break down the walls and walk out with gold? That phrase isn't random. Break down the walls is inseparable from Chris Jericho, serving as the opening line to his iconic WWE entrance theme for years. The timing of the reference feels deliberate, especially with multiple championship matches already announced for the show. Adding even more credibility to the buzz, Sports Illustrated's John Alba backed up earlier reports from Alex McCarthy, stating that Jericho is WWE bound and could appear as soon as January 5th on Raw. According to sources, a return to WWE television could happen imminently. Jericho's absence from AEW hasn't gone unnoticed. He hasn't appeared on AEW programming since April 2025, when he walked out on Big Bill and Brian Keith. He also made headlines by live streaming on YouTube during AEW World's End instead of appearing on the show, a move many fans saw as a clear sign that his AEW chapter was officially over. Now, with his contract expired and WWE openly nodding to his legacy, the question isn't if Chris Jericho is coming back, it's when. So, do you think Jericho shows up on Raw tonight? SmackDown's 3-hour move might be temporary. SmackDown is back to 3 hours, but don't get comfortable. The Blue brand returned to its extended runtime on USA Network this past Friday, yet all signs point to this being a temporary experiment, not a permanent change. According to Brian Alvarez on The Brian and Vinny Show, WWE and the network appear to be running the same playbook as last year. In 2025, SmackDown stretched to 3 hours for the first half of the year before quietly sliding back to 2. And if Alvarez's sources are right, 2026 is shaping up the exact same way. Alvarez noted that even the way the change was mentioned on air raised red flags, hinting that this is more of an annual trial than a long-term commitment. He also revealed he was told ahead of time that the 3-hour format would likely only last through the early part of the year. Why the switch? It's not just about wrestling. USA Network is reportedly using SmackDown as a lead-in test, hoping to slot another wrestling-friendly show right after it later in the year, similar to past programming that targeted WWE's core audience. If that plan comes together, SmackDown's 3rd hour could be the first thing to go. Even Alvarez, who's been vocal that 3 hours is too much for any wrestling show, admitted the first episode of 2026 exceeded expectations. The reason? Fresh blood. Appearances from Trick Williams, Jordynne Grace, Javon Evans, and Matt Cardona brought a noticeable jolt of energy, making the extra hour feel justified, at least for now. Still, the countdown may already be on. If the rumored post-SmackDown project gets approved, don't be surprised if the show is back to 2 hours by summer. So, what do you guys think? Should SmackDown stay 3 hours, or is 2 the sweet spot for Friday nights? Unfortunate update on LA Knight. LA Knight has become one of WWE's most popular fan favorites, but right now his future on Monday Night Raw is surrounded by uncertainty. The megastar hasn't been seen on WWE TV since being taken out by The Vision last month, leaving fans wondering when, or if, he'd return. Early buzz suggested his comeback could happen as soon as the January 5th episode of Raw, but that optimism may have been premature. According to Sean Ross Sapp during a Fightful Select Q&A, Knight is currently taking time away from WWE, and there's no indication that an injury is keeping him sidelined. In fact, Sapp noted that the bigger issue appears to be creative, with WWE reportedly struggling to find the right direction for the former United States champion. For one of WWE's loudest crowd reactions, LA Knight's absence raises a bigger question. What does the company really have planned for the megastar? Another WWE star may be injured. Things may have taken an unfortunate turn for B-Fab at the worst possible time. A new report suggests the SmackDown star could be dealing with a concussion after WWE's holiday tour, abruptly halting the momentum she just started to build. According to Fightful Select, WWE officials are concerned the injury happened during a live event earlier this month, prompting her removal from the road as a precaution. The incident reportedly occurred on January 1st in Syracuse, New York during a match against women's champion Jade Cargill. Not long after, B-Fab was noticeably absent from the following night's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, raising immediate questions behind the scenes. What makes the situation more notable is the ripple effect within the women's division. B-Fab was already filling in for Michin, who had been sidelined earlier in the week due to injury herself. While WWE has not officially confirmed a concussion, sources indicate that's the working concern, leading to B-Fab being pulled from live events under WWE's safety protocols. The timing couldn't be worse. After spending an extended period away from the ring, B-Fab had finally begun receiving renewed television attention. She made her in-ring return in late November as part of the Women's United States Championship tournament, where she shared the ring with Bayley and Candice LeRae. Despite taking the loss, her performance reportedly earned strong praise backstage. Just weeks later, she was woven into an emerging storyline alongside Michin, with both women positioning themselves against Jade Cargill. That angle directly led to the live event matches, one of which now appears to have sidelined her. For now, B-Fab's status remains uncertain, but the sudden setback has put a pause on what was shaping up to be a long overdue resurgence. Sad news for AJ Lee. AJ Lee's surprise return to WWE last year sent shockwaves through the entire women's division. Her first major moment back came at Survivor Series, War Games, where she played a key role in her team defeating Becky Lynch, even pinning the former Women's Intercontinental Champion to seal the win. Since that night, fans have been waiting for the obvious next step, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. But months later, that showdown still hasn't happened, and now we may finally know why. Unlike many returning stars, AJ Lee hasn't been wrestling full-time since coming back. That absence sparked questions about whether this was a short-term run, or simply one last chapter before she steps away for good. According to a new report from Fightful Select's Sean Ross Sapp, there's a clear answer. AJ Lee's WWE contract does not list her as a full-time performer. In fact, she's being used in a special attraction role, similar to Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar, appearing only when the moment is big enough. So if AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch is still coming, WWE may be saving it for the biggest stage possible. WWE star announces exit from wrestling after health battle. After 3 years on WWE's grind, Brinley Reese is walking away, not defeated, but decisive. On January 3, 2026, Reese took to Instagram to announce she's stepping away from wrestling, revealing that ongoing health issues and a serious injury that required surgery last year ultimately forced her to choose herself over the ring. She called it one of the hardest decisions she's ever made, but also the most necessary, prioritizing her health, her body, and her long-term future above all else. Reese reflected on how her time in WWE reshaped her, saying the experience pushed her past her limits and taught her resilience, discipline, and self-belief. Every setback, every win, and every grueling day along the way helped mold her both as a performer and as a person. She also made sure to thank the fans who stood by her through injuries, recovery, and growth, crediting their support for helping her push through the toughest moments of her journey. But this isn't a goodbye. Reese made it clear this chapter is closing by choice, and something new is just beginning. She described the move not as an ending, but a redirection, expressing confidence that her best days are still ahead. Brinley Reese signed with WWE in early 2023 and quickly emerged as a promising name in NXT, earning praise for her energy, work ethic, and connection with the crowd. While she never captured championship gold, she continued to grow inside the ring and worked programs with several top competitors in the NXT women's division. A major shoulder injury in 2025 sidelined her for months and ultimately led to surgery, playing a significant role in her decision to step away. Now, with her WWE chapter officially closed, the question isn't why Brinley Reese left, it's where she goes next. Shocking WrestleMania 42 match pitched for Cody Rhodes. WrestleMania 42 is still a long way off, and right now the card is wide open. But that hasn't stopped the speculation, and one former WWE insider is throwing a major curveball. With the WrestleMania card still far from finalized, many have assumed WWE would once again point toward Cody Rhodes clashing with Roman Reigns on the grandest stage of them all. But wrestling veteran Conan believes that plan could be a massive misdirect. In his view, WWE's real endgame is something fans have been waiting years to see, Roman Reigns going one-on-one with The Rock at WrestleMania. Conan also tossed out another intriguing possibility, Cody Rhodes stepping into a blockbuster showdown of his own, potentially facing Logan Paul. It's a pairing that would instantly grab mainstream attention, blending Cody's legacy-driven story with Logan's polarizing star power. The idea of Roman Reigns versus The Rock has hovered over WWE like a storm cloud for nearly a decade. Every year, fans convince themselves this will finally be the moment, and every year, something gets in the way. Hollywood schedules, injuries, or shifting creative plans. But with 2026 approaching and Roman's tribal chief persona firmly established, the timing may finally be right. If WWE pulls the trigger, WrestleMania 42 could deliver one of the biggest dream matches in company history. The only question now is whether WWE is ready to cash in on years of anticipation, or if fans are once again being set up to wait just a little longer.